Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 186 of the Maritime Paintball Podcast. My name is Brad Odell. With me, I have Kyle. I can't pronounce your last name, from Synergy Paintball, and we have the fantastic Adam Collier in his beautiful purple shirt because he can't figure out how to work his webcam. What's up, gentlemen?
Not much, Bradley. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, we're good. Everything's great. Sorry, people are jumping in. I'm getting distracted. So basically, let's start. Let's go round table here. So everyone already knows who I am. Nobody cares. But let's talk about the dude in the Synergy Paintball sweatshirt. Let's talk about Kyle. Is it Lacure? Like, how do you pronounce your last name?
Lacue.
Cool.
Lacue.
All right. So Kyle from Synergy, because I'm just gonna butcher that name.
It's all right. Everybody has. I think I've had one person pronounce it right.
Hey, look, Garner Lupo's jumped into the chat. Yeah, so let's talk about you. Let's talk about what you do. Why are you? Well, yeah, let's talk about your background, and then we'll get into why you're here.
Sounds good. Name's Kyle from Synergy Paintball. You guys can check us out at synergypaintball.ca. We run a lot of paintball events throughout the last couple of years. I've been going at it for just over 5 years. I think it's around 7 years now. This year we just hit over 100 events. Most of our events are held at PRZ Paintball. Just a normal player like everybody else. Just wanted to get paintball, people's participation in paintball a little bit higher. So I started hosting events, and things worked out in the last quite a few years, and just kept going with it.
I love it. Okay, cool. So you're an event organizer.
Yeah.
Now, do you specialize in events, or are you just more like, we're going to have a good old-fashioned game of paintball?
We're just going to have a good old-fashioned game of paintball and do the best I can. I'm not, I didn't go to school and pay lots of money to be a professional event organizer. I just seen an opportunity to start helping out and been just going with that.
Jump both feet in and just figure it out as you go. Try not to drown. That's what I did with this podcast. I was just like, let's do this. Let's see what happens. And I am embarrassed of what I produced for the first year.
Yeah. My first 2 years. Yeah, I had some good nicknames kicking around for myself.
Nice. I like that. Okay, man. So event organizer. Perfect. So we'll get into why you're here in a little bit. My man in the purple shirt.
Yeah, sadly, unfortunately, I can't get that cam going, but hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Welcome to episode 186 of the Maritime. I can hear myself. You're listening. You're watching the show.
Yeah. You have to mute it while you watch it.
Sure do.
But anyway, so thanks for having us on, Brad. So the reason that, and we'll probably have to explain it for some of the viewers that are showing up later into the podcast.
Oh, yeah. We'll bring it up a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have to because of everything that's going on. So what's happening is the reason that I asked Hooligan to have myself and Kyle on is that with Operation Honey Badger 2019, what's happened is that myself and Steve Rattay, my business partner from Tier 1 Armament, we have been graciously asked by KT Tran of MCS, or Modern Combat Sports, or AKA RAP4. He asked us to join him at Ion, at Skirmish Paintball, to help with the release of his box mag at that time.
Dropping news.
So the thing is that Ion is going to be the same weekend as Operation Honey Badger. So yeah, so you see a bit of the dilemma that we've had here. So anyway,
yeah, KT's gonna have to find somebody else to help with the mag.
Yeah. I can't let Steven go just by himself. Him and KT are gonna be. It's gonna be crazy with those two. So yeah, and apparently there's like 3,000 to 4,000 players at Ion.
So, yeah, Ion's pretty big. I was watching some of the videos and thinking, like, Ion's a game I got to get to. Invasion of Normandy is an event I need to get to.
So with that being said, we might as well get to the meat and potatoes of why we're here. Kyle is known in the paintball events, and he obviously has Synergy paintball events. And so the last event that I was at, I played at your event, Kyle, and it was, we loved what you did.
Thank you.
And you know what? And you have all your refs and everything. You have everybody lined up pretty much ready to go. And you're used to running events. You run a lot of events at PRZ, and you've run them at other places as well. So what I asked Kyle for the upcoming season is to take my time slot and run a MagFed event under the Synergy paintball events, and run a MagFed event then on July 13th, 2019. So for Operation Honey Badger 2019, we're going to take a break and obviously help out KT with the release of the box mag. Now, I know some people are, there's might be some disappointment.
I can already hear the tears. I can already hear the crying and see the tears. It's happening.
Ryan McGee, no Honey Badger? No, Ryan. So
no,
there's not going to be Honey Badger 2019. I'm going to put it on hold for this year. And Kyle's going to run a MagFed event in lieu of Operation Honey Badger. So I'm quite confident.
Could we call it like Operation Mongoose?
Whatever Kyle wants to call it, he can call it whatever he wants.
What's the enemy of the Honey Badger?
There we go. So I feel confident that Kyle is the right person to grab the time slot to help me out this year, and by running a MagFed event. And Kyle's already asked for a couple of some pointers just on some of the way that Operation Honey Badger is run. Kyle and I were talking, so we're going to tee it up, and we're going to be talking leading up to. And but I know that purposely just messed with Adam and Steve. Thanks, Ryan. Ryan, you're my favorite troll from SAS. Anyway, so Kyle, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, absolutely. First thing, I'm down for really any name that we're going to go for. I was kind of thinking of leaving it up there in the air, but that's a good one, Mongoose.
Hold on, I'm doing research. I
just Googled it as well, too, right now, actually. I'm just kind of taking a look around. I've been playing with the names. I came up with one for Operation Magfest, just for you guys that are like MagFed players, but I type in Magfest in like Google, and some sort of like video game award ceremony like pops up for like musicians.
Operation Wolverine.
Ooh. I like
across the crowd.
Give me 2 seconds while I try and trademark that real fucking quick.
But yeah, so got lots of different plans for the event, but I want to make sure that we're kind of gearing it around exactly what the consumer wants, which is the players, and it's MagFed style players that are coming out to do this. So I usually gear my events to trying to entertain the experienced player all the way down to the rental player and mom and pops coming out with their kid to play for the first time. So this is more geared to like a high experience, more level of guys that want, I don't know how to put it without people being like, I don't like your opinion. I
don't like your opinion.
Realism,
I don't like you.
Some realism kind of thing. So it's something I haven't really done before for like an actual scenario, put like a lot of realism, military simulation to it, but that's where I'm kind of like excited for. It's like one idea I had for like a mission was I want to make up roadblocks that are just made of wood that would just be like a triangle with a piece of wood goes across it. It says movable, but you're going to be like going down the road, and it would be like almost an ambush, but they put up the roadblocks, and your objective is to work down the road, remove the roadblocks, and get your actual patrol moving down the road and past the buildings. Something like that would be kind of fun, I think.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's pretty interesting. So I'm trying to pay attention to you and keep up with the comments. They're just flying past. Okay, so you already started thinking about Operation Wolverine. We're going with Wolverine. It's happening. It's done. It's settled.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Cool.
All
right, awesome.
Whatever I even had, I'm not even sure I can pick it and change it right now, and I'll post it up.
Done. Awesome. Cool. All right, so you're going to try and keep the MagFedness rolling with that.
Absolutely.
I'm digging that.
No hoppers.
Yeah, but like, what if it's like a speedball marker, and I put like the mag adapter in the feed neck? No, I'm just kidding. Shit.
Layers.
What about 10-run tubes? Know those mags? What about a Q loader? Is a Q loader a mag?
No.
Ooh. What about a box mag? What about a box mag?
10-round tube to me, a box mag. See, that's where I have to like. I'm gonna have to deal with that like sourness on one side. One guy be like, I should be allowed to use it, not be able to use it. Yeah. I had one game where I allowed it, where I did a sort of like just a Milsim game where you could only bring out so many rounds that you couldn't use a hopper. So everybody used a magazine, and that one box mag showed up, and everybody just got so salty about it.
The box mags are kind of like they're touchy, right? Because it's like, well, it's technically it's mag fed, it's a box magazine, but it's I think a lot of people they play the mag fed because they don't want to deal with somebody holding the trigger. Yeah. And just sending 200 rounds down range. But at the same time, it's, then when those Milsim guys, and I'm going to say the Milsim, not the MagFed, but when the Milsim guys are just like, box mags aren't MagFed, be like, bitch, let's see you go into an actual combat zone without the big saw machine gun. Like, come on now, you're going to hide behind them. It's going to happen.
So my actual one idea behind that would be, if you go into the field, you can't bring a pod with you. So like your magazines, those like box mags, the only way to really refill them is using pods like on the field, unless you're using something else I can kind of think of. But like you would have to bring multiples of those out already pre-filled and then load them into your gun. You can't fill them like on the field sort of thing. That's what I'm going to try to go for.
So no bags of paint, like no cardboard, like no bags of paint in the backpack, and away we go.
Yeah, exactly. You can leave it at your base possibly, but bringing it onto the field and reloading yourself like that.
What about max loaders? Are max loaders mags?
Nope. No. Now, William Roy Murray of SAS Ottawa just commented and said boxes are necessary. So
I would say yes, absolutely. Box mags are necessary, but in a controlled manner. You can't just go out there and have one team with like 30 of them against a bunch of guys that are all shooting just magazines.
Yeah, no, I mean the box mags are dangerous in the right, and I'm not saying dangerous as in like dangerous. I'm saying that they can really turn the tide of a game if they're used right. I still remember. I think it was Operation Honey Badger, maybe my first one, or maybe it was a different event. Either way, George Unanistan, I think he held an entire half a building by himself with his box mag because it was just like he was down the hallway. It was dark. You couldn't see shit. And as soon as you stepped into the light, he let them rip, and you were just like, oh, you just run.
Usually he doesn't have one; he has two.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he might have been actually using the two. It was just sort of just like, what's going? And just fires off like 40 rounds. But that's like, but yeah, I like the idea of just a couple of them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's gonna make it more of like my idea is to make it like almost like a perk. Like your team will earn perks throughout the day, and then you'll be able to turn that in to be able to have a card that says you're allowed to use a box mag.
That's perfect. Yeah, the card. I love it. Sorry. Replying to comments, trying to handle everything. I need to hire a moderator.
Yeah, you do.
I'm still trying to find them all. I can't even seem to find where these comments are coming in.
So just, Kyle, grab one of the, go to the Maritime podcast.
Yep.
And then click on the video and just make sure you mute the sound. And like when you click on the video, you can actually start scrolling through the comments. You can see.
It was some reason it's all hidden on me.
So Facebook tends to do this thing where it's just like, we're gonna show off the relevant comments. Mm-hmm. So it tries to pick out the comments that it thinks you want to read, but half of the time they're not.
That's all right. I'm reading them, so that's pretty good. Kevin Lee Whiteman has said that Adam is lost in the ether. Yeah,
it truly is lost in the ether. Ryan McGee wants to know when you're going to accept the party invite on PlayStation 4. Come on, dude, get on that shit. Listen. When are you going to get over to PC? Come on now, drop that console nonsense.
Hey, I just got a Nintendo Switch 2 on top of the Playstation 4.
I'm not going to hate on the Switch. The Switch is pretty solid. Like, I can't pick up my computer and take it on the bus with me. So I think I'm not going to shit on the Switch.
For those that have joined late, I might as well reiterate this again.
Yeah.
Operation Honey Badger is just going on a hiatus for the year. But in the spot, Kyle has, from Synergy Paintball Events, is going to he's going to host a MagFed event right in that time slot. Operation Honey Badger will be back for 2020. So, good news, bad news, just depends on who you ask. But, like I said earlier in the video, Kyle, I felt is the perfect person to host a MagFed event at PRZ. And I feel confident that he'll put on something that, MagFed players are going to really enjoy. Kyle's already said that he would, we'd touch base and try and make sure that it was, his vision as well as part of what we were doing at Operation Honey Badger. So it's not that I'm leaving it altogether. It's just this year, we had a pretty good invite from KT from MCS to help out with the release of his box mag at Ion at Skirmish Paintball in the U.S.
Which is a pretty big deal. Like, it's speaking of releasing that box mag at Ion, it's crazy to see like last year and the year before and the year before that. So like last 3 years, give or take. There's been a lot of like not hatred, but criticism to MCS because of the so-called vaporware. They were showing off like this weird round that had like the fins that unfolded and all that stuff. They had the Hydro Mag they were talking about, just like all this crazy stuff that was coming up. And then it just never appeared. And then KT sort of just went quiet with a lot of stuff.
Yep.
And just stopped posting it. And then all of a sudden he's just like, boom, check out this machine. It makes the new shaped projectile we're working on. And he makes one on camera. And he's like, check it out. It's kind of cool. And now they're going to, out of nowhere, he's just like, come to Ion. I'm releasing a box mag. It's just like, dude.
Yeah.
So it's I'm loving the fact that what's happening is that MCS is getting so far away from what Rap 4 was.
Absolutely.
And it's great. I love it. I'm loving seeing it happening.
Now, sorry to cut you off there, Brad. Just looking at the comments, Evan, where is it?
There's all sorts of it. Talking about the 43 cal, 50 cal?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So
yeah, Evan
Kyle and I
Johnson
have been talking about the 43 cal and the 50 cal because we've tier 1. We're going to be doing we've got a pre-order for the 50 cal from Umarex for the revolver, and so Kyle was asking me about chronographing it. And it's the same way as the PPQ. You take an empty mag, except with the revolver, the 12 gram goes right into the revolver itself. Do about 8 to 10 clearing shots, and then you load it up with paint, and then you chronograph it.
Yeah, so you load it up, you pressurize it, and then you equalize the pressure.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know why some people have such a hard time understanding that. Because there's no regulator built into it, right? From what I understand, it's just it takes the CO2 gas, and the initial pressure is pretty high. Like you're releasing that initial, and then you fire it off. The pressure sort of drops in the little canister, and it equalizes out, and you're golden. Like it's not rocket science, people. It's not rocket surgery. But speaking of which, can we talk about that for a second? Can we talk about the pre-order that is up at tier1armamentstore.com of the Umarex, that amazing, sexy, beautiful revolver? That is what, 50 cal?
Yes, it is.
Beauty. God, I love it. So damn sexy.
Yep.
So that's the Umarex. What's it called? The Umarex something. Umarex. I keep forgetting.
Now you got, it's the, let me double check.
HD50?
Yeah.
Something like that. The Umarex HD50. God, it's just such, god damn, like it's so good looking. It would just go so well with my beard. Nothing? Not even a chuckle? Damn.
No, I think I'm picturing it with your beard. I'm like, yeah, that would be.
Right? Come on. Bust that bad boy out. Just like, what up? I miss every target. I would still look badass.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to work. And yeah, it's 50 cal. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. And I think in the MagFed world, the 50 cal stuff is finding its place. It's by no means going to replace anything because there's too much investment in the 60, but it's definitely finding its place in the sidearm world.
Yeah, so it's
digging that.
Umarex HDR 50. So
yeah, and Eric Killmonger's telling me 60 rounds per CO2. Like that's That's a lot for a single CO2. Like, I'm probably not even going to carry that many rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Johnson's asking if I seen the 68 cal revolver from Sellsword. I did. I even showed it off last episode, so you should go back and watch last week's show because I talked about it. Way ahead of you people. Come on, catch up. It's my job.
Kyle,
What's up?
so the event that we were at, because you ran a limited ammo event at PRZ, Operation Valor.
That's correct. Yep. Back in November, I think it was right before Remembrance Day.
Yeah, and that's so when Kyle was running that event, you actually had really, like, one of the missions that you had set out was actually pretty damn cool. And remember that, like, so everybody started in not everybody. One half started in the buildings. Building 1.
Correct. The 3-story, I think, is where we started with the first game.
Right. So I'll let you tell everyone about that one, because that's what, that was one of the things that did it for me. Like, as soon as I saw that you had, a unique idea like that, it's like, okay, you know what? And the way that everything was run and the way you had everything set up with timing, it was really good.
Thank you. So sort of like almost like an attack and defend, but it was a continuous game where there was an attacker and defenders. The attackers got to start just outside the building and got to assault the actual first building. If you know PRZ, it's split up into 3 to 4 different buildings. The 3 stories out front of you goes over through a hallway into a place called the warehouse kitchen, and then goes through another hallway to a building with 2 stories, which is called the 2-story. 2 floors to it, and then behind it is the school area and the gymnasium. That's kind of like the 4th building, and it's kind of separated by a fireplace room and then like a registration area. But the first building, which is the 3-story, the defending team got 1 life, and they got to start basically anywhere inside that building to defend it. And once they were hit, they were to come out of the building and move towards the warehouse building and wait there for us to blow the horn in a special sequence that notified you that the attackers were advancing. The objective of the attackers was to get through the first building without advancing to the next one, and they had to clear that one out at like a 90%. If there's a couple guys left behind, that was all right. We knew that it was just going to take up more time. We wanted to kind of keep the game moving, but as long as you cleared majority of the building, you got to advance on as the attackers. We blow the horn, like we were saying. The defenders at the next building get to know they have to set up the defense, and the attackers got to move forward into the next building, sort of like a game of Rush, but just an easier way of playing it. The referees are positioned all throughout the field in certain areas and all throughout the different floors to make sure that you're notified of which direction you need to go. Because when you come out of a bathroom, when you're in the stall with your feet standing on top of the toilet, gun,
I mean, who would do that? Nobody would do that.
Shaking in your boots, waiting to just like the guy's just going to kick the door open. You can hear them talking, and you're just waiting for it to go down. Smoke grenades come in. You come out like, which direction do I go? Because you lit up looking like a clown. We're going to point you in the right direction so you know where to go get some revenge on some of these guys.
Nice.
So you basically move off to the next building and then so on. So you got through the warehouse, you'd have to defend it. The 2-story, you'd have to defend it. And then you get into the gymnasium, which if you ever went in there, gets pretty pitch black. So assaulting that building as the last one's quite fun. And then we switched the field and had the same team that did the attacking start the defense, but they had to defend the gym first in the school, then the 2-story, then the warehouse, then the 3-story sort of thing. It went on for about an hour each way, and it worked out to be a lot of fun, I find, and especially if Adam's still remembering those good days.
Oh yeah, like that. It was that uniqueness, and that pretty much, and the way that you had everything organized and the way it was running so smoothly. It pretty much was. You know what? I knew that I had to put the Operation Honey Badger on hold just for this year coming up. As bad, as much as I didn't want to, but like I said, we don't want to pass up an opportunity like this, working with KT, and especially when there's 3,000 to 4,000 players at Ion,
Yeah.
And so I mean we went to Kilo 69, and it was just a steady stream of players that like either shopping or fixing or just talking to at EMR. So I knew that the game had to be put on on hold for this year. And Kyle, it was a no-brainer after seeing what Kyle had done with Operation Valor. So I mean, it's just going to be this year, folks, but it is going to be a MagFit event, and you know what? It's we'll be back for 2020, and it's going to be in good hands. Trust me. Kyle knows what he's doing. This isn't his first rodeo. He's done this before. He's run other events. He's still running events to this day. So he's been gracious enough to say, you know what, Adam? Yeah, I can take that time slot for you for this year and run a MagFit event for the MagFit players.
Now, what happens if we like him more than you?
You know what? That does happen. I mean, I've got broad shoulders. What are you going to do?
If you guys really end up liking it a lot, I'm definitely sure PRZ and myself can work out another date throughout the year to give you guys maybe a secondary large MagFit event at PRZ. But at the same time, I did tell Adam as soon as he said, like, hey man, would you be able to assist us with this and help us out this year? And I said, well, my goal is to make it sound so good you want to stay in Canada and not go to Iowa.
I remember you did say that, so it's good.
One of the guys in Twitch, MIC Gear, I forget his full name, Brandon something. Anyways, point is, he's asking. He says he's rather upset. He's sad that there will be no Honey Badger 2019. He says, but will there be tanks? We had tanks last year. We were spoiled. Now we feel entitled.
We feel entitled. Kyle, I'll let you answer that one. I mean,
that one was definitely a Honey Badger thing last year. I'm going to 100% look back into it. I'm coming up with different ideas right now because I have heard some things that the cost of it was very high. But I want to make sure that the field has success with the event, doesn't become like a financial problem of trying to put on an event. These events are meant to help the field and make it grow. So we're definitely going to be looking into it. I want vehicles 100%. I think you guys have always had vehicles on the field for these events, so I have a few different ideas to do that. A tank's going to be pretty hard, but I'm definitely I want that. I want a helicopter, to be honest with you. I've been begging for a helicopter for the last couple of years after I've seen Operation Rhino, which was an airsoft game 8 years ago, do that at PRZ, and
I would sign a piece of paper signing away my rights to rappel out of a helicopter onto the roof of PRZ. I don't care if I go through the roof. Actually, if anything, that would just be better because that's just full on surprise against the enemy. But I want to come out of a helicopter and then try and look badass and probably fall, but that's fine because the soft, rotten ceiling will break my fall as I go clean through it. But I think that'd be badass.
Yeah.
What I would love to see is a. I don't even think we need a tank. I think we just need something that looks aggressive.
I'm looking into APC, something has wheels. I think the tank issue was transport plus being on the field. The owner himself was kind of worried that it might tear up the field a little bit just because of the tracks. If I can find something that's like an APC with 8 wheels to it, carry 16 guys, I think that'd still be pretty sweet. That would
be awesome. Also, Tim's a great guy, and it's amazing that he lets us do what we do to that building. But was he legitimately worried we tore up the roads around PRZ? Because I don't know if he's
you know how if you traverse a tank when you have the tracks going in the opposite directions.
Yeah, it just tears the shit out of the dirt.
Exactly, and that's all he was worried about. They didn't do that at all. They actually when I went on, I think it was that weekend I went there and checked it a little bit, and the place looked totally fine. I was really surprised. I figured it would have tore the place up to a lot worse than it was because I've always wanted to do it for other events, and that was one of the biggest things a lot of fields told me was no way, those things will come in here and just tear my place apart.
It's paintball field. But exactly, the one with the wheels, that's an actual like a lav, basically a lav with wheels would be totally doable because then it's street legal. Except I don't know, is it cheaper to run a lav, to drive a lav than it is to carry it? I don't know. They're not exactly fuel efficient.
No, not at all. I do know of that Oshawa area where the tank came from. I do believe there's a certain I want to say reenactment museum they have down there. They have 150 vehicles. So I'm definitely going to get in contact with them. I'm going to try to see if we work at a deal that maybe we can do it more than one event because next year I think I'm booked in now for I'm going to say 8 or 9 events, and 4 of them are major ones now at PRZ. So if we can get something there maybe consistently, that maybe we can work out a deal or something.
Nice. I like definitely that. That's cool.
I'm not saying it's out of the ballpark. I'm definitely trying for vehicles. 100%.
Sweet. Yeah, vehicles in general are good. I called dibs on. I was a little bummed that I couldn't shoot from the APC, but I totally understand not having a 15-ton vehicle roaming around with very little stopping power or like braking power around players. I get that. That's fine. But can we get like, can we get like a pickup truck? I just want to zip by in a pickup truck and just start snapping players. Just like bam, bam, bam.
Drive-by shootings?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about looking at those Jimmies that he had and seeing what we could do with them because they've sat there for a little while. They're finding a couple. I'd like to get, like how I said I want to do that, like kind of like patrol mission. We do the ambush. I've done it before, but I want to kind of add to it because the road's there and you could use real vehicles and you have other buildings and bunkers right around the actual road to work with if you're being assaulted from the buildings, if that's where the ambush was coming from, and then having to work your way down and remove the barriers so the vehicles keep going forward, and having like gunners on the top of the vehicles. I think that'd be pretty
that's what I'm talking about. Right? We need one of those Jesus, what were they called? Firestorm trigger? It was the kit that Spec Ops made for like 6 months. It was 2 A5s and it had a special trigger that when you rotated the trigger one full rotation, it pulled each trigger 4 times. So they just like prop it up and just like and it was just an unloaded paint. Then we need hoppers. But I think we can make an exception if it's mounted to the back of a vehicle. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know?
I like the idea too of the what are they called, the Havoc launchers. I'd always like that mounted on top too, where you could actually like shoot it off. Like I've always done. It doesn't hurt the buildings, but like my idea in that game was always you could shoot it off towards the room, whatever room or window it hit. That entire room's cleared out of guys, sort of thing.
Nice. We have one here in the Maritimes. It's one of the old Rap 4 RPGs.
Oh, nice.
So if you take it out in the wrong place, it does look like Soviet era, like RPG. But what we discovered you can do with it is you can put a Nerf, like you could do your standard Nerf football and poof, fire it off. It's pretty cool. But if you stuff paper towel into it and then about 40 paintballs and then more paper towel, you could do some damage. Like we were talking about hiding behind flags, waiting for somebody to try to turn the flag, pop up and just be like, not today, motherfucker. Poof! And just hit him with like 40 paintballs. I'm not saying we should do that, but I'm also not saying that, we couldn't. That's, you know what? Enola Gay needs to make a giant, like, first strike round. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be them. Because they're going to be fired from a Havoc launcher. How badass would that be? How come that doesn't exist yet?
Insurance.
I don't know.
Insurance, yeah. Some poor sucker takes it to the side of the head. Just poof. Wonder what those feel like when they bounce. Concussion. Bam. Had a thought, lost it. Bill Foote, vehicles make quite a scenario game. Cool to have tank killer teams. Absolutely. There's nothing cooler than being part of a team that is hunting tanks. I've done it a couple of times, and it's just sort of like you kind of feel bad because like you're maybe it's just the way I handle it. I'm really bad at taking orders and direction. So I had one game, and the captain was just like, all right, I'm going to need you to go in that direction. I'm like, nah, I'm going to go hunt tanks, and wandered off. That's what I did. And it was awesome. It was badass. Going toe-to-toe with a vehicle is exhilarating, at the very least. So
that's my dream to host an event like that where you have like multiple vehicles, tank hunters like that. Like I've seen videos of like the Russian games they do with all their T-68 vehicles, and it's just like one day. Yeah, the Russian ones where they're just like safety gets in the way of fun, and then you watch a dude get blown back 40 feet because he's too close to pyrotechnics. Again, something I do want to take part in at some point. Like, if I come back from that missing a finger, I'll be like, dude, just check it out. It was so badass. I was just like, it's wick, Yeah, that's, oh my God, so much. Why does Canada have to have such lame, like, health and safety laws? It's ridiculous. Gets in the way of fun. Real quick, 2 seconds. We're going to take like 3-4 minutes here. We got to talk about the people, the good people that make this stuff possible. Except it's not properly working. Of course it's not properly. Why would it work? Why would anything I'm running today work? Why would that?
Yes, good. It's not just my video.
Nope, I fixed it. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about Tier 1 Armament. They are the MagFed distribution people for Canada. So tier1armament.com or tier1armamentstore.com. If you want to take a look at all the goodies they have lots of stuff on sale right now. Absolutely worth looking at. I'm actually looking at the website right now, just being like, and I want that, and I want that, and I want that. Like the Umrex HDR 50, which is on sale for $140, down from $160. The Umrex magazines, like the little revolver, the things, 2-pack for $15. Come on, right? The PPQ on sale down to $270, down from $300. Like save $30, guys. Come on, 100%. Take a look. They are the MagFed people. They are the ones that get the MagFed gear into the shop of your local dealer, majority of the time. So we also got PB Swag Bag. So we have our own fancy code, MPP10. I know it's not as fancy as Nightmare's code, but MPP10. You can save 10% on PB Swag Bag, and hopefully next week. Next week or the week after, I'm not sure. Canada Post has kind of messed everything up. We will have another bag to open up live on the air and talk about all the fun stuff that's happening there. Bunker Kings, with their new command goggle system, in the description of this video, you will find a link that you can click on to take you to the Kickstarter. As of right now, you have like 40 and a half hours. So you have like 40 hours left to get in there, and there's a couple of discounts happening. I think you can save $40 right now on a mask. So if you want, the link is in the description. Click on that. It'll take you right to the Kickstarter page. And, you can jump on board there. So 100% worth it. You've got to. Absolutely. That mask looks amazing. The truly important people out there, though, are the Patreon supporters. Hey, look at that. That's not how that's supposed to look. So our Patreon supporters are like, these are the cool people. These are the cool guys, the cool kids. Mary, Ryan, Sizzle, Dave, Sage, Jeff, Alex, Dr. Rush, Tony, Tim, and Justin. All fantastic people. Financially, they are actually like opening up their wallets and being like, you're doing good work. Here's some money. I don't know if that's really what they're thinking when they're doing it, but anyways, huge thank you to these people. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, if you like what we're doing and you want us to keep doing it, and you want to help us out keeping the lights on, patreon.com/Maritime Milson Podcast. I still need to change that. I keep forgetting. But you can help us out. It can be as little as $1 a month, or it could be whatever you want, and it's a huge help. It really does help. And lastly, and you can find this link in the description as well. We do have a tech mat up for pre-order right now. It is just over 2 feet long, and 1 foot tall, and 2 or 3 millimeters thick of neoprene foam. So it's a light, dense foam. Basically, the idea is this isn't a rubber tech mat that you with all the fun grooves and stuff. We looked at those, and we don't have that kind of cash. So we looked into that. So this is a lightweight one that's easy to roll up, throw in your gear bag. Basically, the idea is if you've got a really nice marker and you want to keep it nice looking, and you don't want to put it on the ground or on like the grimy picnic table, you just bust this out, just roll it out, whoop, put it there. So that's for pre-order on Etsy, Etsy.com. The link is in the description. And once we have 12 pre-orders secured, they will go into production. So once the 12th pre-order is placed, we're looking at like 3 weeks from the time that last order is placed. You should have it in your hand in 3 weeks. So if you'd like to lose my mic, if you want to pre-order that, again, it helps us. It helps us out. And that's what I got.
It's good.
I gotta slim that down. I gotta find a way to slim that down. So much stuff happening. So much cool stuff. And
tech mat's only $20. Pre-order.
Yeah, it's only $20. Now, here's the catch before anyone jumps in there being like, fuck yeah, they're gonna buy it. $20. There is a $15 shipping fee in Canada. It's different. It's a flat shipping fee. So if you order 1 or you order 10, it's $15. If you order from outside of Canada, it will calculate a separate shipping fee for you based on Canada Post. But yeah, if you order one in Canada, it's $15 shipping. They're unfortunately too big to be considered letters. I tried. And I went there and I was like, hypothetically, like if it fits in this little slot, I was like, that counts as a letter, right? And they're like, yeah, why? And I'm like, well, what if it's 2 feet long? And so they're like, nah, bro, that's a package. Like, that's not a letter. I was like, well, I tried. Because otherwise it would have been like $4 in shipping, and it would have been glorious. But they were like, yeah, no. And then I didn't want to fold them. I didn't want to see what would happen if I fold them and tried to ship them folded. So they're being shipped rolled, which makes them a package, and they're $15 shipping fee.
Yeah, when you start rolling things and shipping, forget it. It's hideous.
Yeah, but if I fold them, it'll probably crease and split
absolutely.
the neoprene,
you
right?
have to roll it.
Yeah. So yeah, $20 plus $15 shipping. So you're looking at $35 Canadian total, which I don't think is outrageous. Personally, I'm just saying. I don't think it's that outrageous. So, but yeah. Oh, that's beard hair. That's all I got for that. So we've got 19 minutes left. So let's reiterate, guys, for anyone who's just showing up late to the party, like Aaron Nelson here, who I haven't talked to in ages. What's up, Aaron? This year, Operation Honey Badger is going on, not this year, in 2019, Operation Honey Badger is going on hiatus. It is not going away indefinitely. It will be back. But that weekend will be left in the caring hands of Kyle from Synergy Paintball.
And Kyle actually put a link in the
Seen
in
that?
the chat. Yep.
Yeah, so the event page is already made.
Yep. That's great.
Look at that.
Great. So, yeah. So again, the reason we're doing a hiatus this year is because myself and Steve, my business partner from Tier 1 Armament, have been invited by KT to help him out at Ion, at Skirmish Paintball in the U.S., to help him release the box mag. So, yeah.
Crazy things. Crazy times. If I can swing it, if I can make that happen, I don't know if I'll be able to. I might possibly show up at Ion with, I don't know, maybe some recording gear. Might be fun. That might be cool.
That would be awesome.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know what 2019 looks like for me yet. If we can sell enough tech mats, I might be able to afford to go. Oh. We do have a couple other things too. The headbands are in the works actually as well. We're doing custom headbands. So I have an artist working on some work, and we finalized a design, and I trashed it. And I was like, nope, we're not using that. Start from scratch. Because it's got to be perfect. If it's not perfect, I won't do it. Yeah. So Operation Honey Badger going on hiatus, but it sounds like Kyle has some fantastic ideas.
Yeah. Like I said, Kyle is the person.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm if I don't get to Ion, I'll try and get to Operation Wolverine. If I can't do either of those, I don't know. I'll play some Battlefield or something on computer. I don't know. Like we'll figure something out. I don't know. I'll go play somewhere else at another field and just mope around and just like
mope around.
Right. Playing, constantly going off the break and just being like, it'd be way more fun if we were somewhere else. Like I'd have a way better field. Like, so. But we'll see.
I'm sure we can get you down to PRZ if you want to get down, man. Or something out.
It's the hard part is I need to drive. Because anytime I have flown for an Operation Honey Badger, I have almost missed my flight. Every time.
Yeah.
So
Costly.
the last one, I almost missed the flight because I tried to put my MagFed gear through, and they were like, "No, this is a gun." I'm like, "No, it's not. Let's not use the G word here." And then he's like, "Where's the bullets?" I'm like, "No, there's no bullets. Like, it doesn't. Can we?" And then they sent me over to like the other place, the other people to scan the bag, and then they had to call somebody, and they're like, "It's a gun." I'm like, "It's not a gun." They're like, "Where's the serial number?" I'm like, "It's not registered." And then I was like, it doesn't need to be registered. Like, anyways, They ended up being like, the only way we can take this is you have to pay $80 to have it shipped as a unregistered firearm. I'm like, but it's not a firearm. They're like, well, we're not shipping it either way. I'm like, I've been through, and they're like, where'd you come from? I'm like, Fredericton. They let me on the plane with this. Why won't you let me go home with this?
Oh wow.
So, yeah. So,
That'd be frustrating.
oh, you have no idea. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm going to miss my flight. And she's like, trying to like look up in their database. I'm like, what to do with paintball guns? I'm like, no, it's not a gun. Stop using the word gun, please.
Yeah.
I'm already sitting here with a large beard in an international airport. Can we not use the word gun? That'd be great. And I'm already like, so yeah. Just checked the air miner, just checking it. Yes, sir. Operation Honey Badger is going on hiatus. Adam and Steve are heading down south to the Ion in Invasion of Normandy to show off the new box mag that MCS will be releasing. But
yeah, he's asked us to help release it at Ion. So I mean, it's a big to us. It's a big deal. So and Kyle's the man to I think he's going to host an excellent event. So just let's see what happens, folks.
Well,
yeah.
I could go over my notes, sort of like what I have kind of planned so far, since I've just been starting to work at it for the last couple of weeks. So what I like to do is do a full weekend, because I know quite a few MakeFed guys that want to come play this style stuff travel. They're not all just local Ontario guys. So we're going to start it off with a couple scrims for guys on Friday. We're going to do like half field scrims, probably 2 or 3 of them. Incorporate some of the buildings. Then actually on the Saturday, because it's been requested a few times to me, I'd like to do like an actual like nonstop big game for a few hours, and then go in on the Sunday and even the Saturday night. We'll do more scrims, like 1 hour to 2 hour scrims, sort of like what Operation Honey Badger is normally done for missions. But we're going to try to do both of them all throughout the weekend. So like the normal kind of scrim missions, and then also like a full size big game that goes for a couple hours, and in the nighttime.
Ooh, a night game.
Other things, like we talked about that like run roadblock game, I'm really going to try to work on that one and come up with a good way to do that with actual vehicles incorporated. The one game that Adam was talking about, that's kind of like Rush, where you have to capture and assault one building at a time, kill off all the defenders and then advance to the next building, and then they get to start there as the defenders for the next line of defense. One thing I seen there, or that we were talking about earlier, was the MegFed, or not the medics. The guys really like realism kind of thing. So
fucking
maybe
crash kits. Anyone comes near me with a goddamn crash kit, I'll kick him in the teeth.
Exactly. Maybe do some like tourniquets or some band-aids, something like that. Get some real fun, kind of like that kind of stuff going. Maybe you have to kind of like pull guys back to your actual medic to be able to drag them backwards. We'll talk about that and see what we kind of do.
Firemen carry them.
Too much physical contact. Also, some of the different props I've been trying to putting down: drugs, cash, cell phones, laptops, explosives, live hostages, because I heard about that numerous times from this game last year. People really like that.
I have a question about the live hostage.
Yep.
So this was a situation that happened years ago, and I want to know how it would play out in your game. So we played a game that we had a hostage rescue. Basically, It was a VIP game. So they're defending, we're attacking, and the objective they gave us was that the VIP had vital information that we had to protect. So we had to get him away from them, because when the timer ran out, that signified that they broke him with torture, and then he gave up the info. So we went at him. We're like, okay, we've only got like 15 minutes. We got to do this. So we slammed him hard, and then 3 of us went around back and we shot the VIP. So I'm just,
Information didn't get it. You kind of completed your mission half-ass.
I like to think of it as efficient.
As a game director, I'd have to give you like half points for that one for effort.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. I'll take half points.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go grab the dude with the SAR-12 and be like, come with me. We're going to go cause some shit.
That's actually a smart idea. That would be cool for a mission. Like there's a VIP in a room that you either need to save or execute before the time limit for the information.
Right, that's some serious like Black Ops wet work, right? It's just sort of like, it's some ambassador and like, should we save him? We could, but one bullet is cheaper than more. So let's
12 men, trying to get him.
Yeah, exactly.
Issue is finding someone that's gonna be a live target willing to take a bullet for you.
So can we just not tell them that
That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Maybe we'll put it on the mission card, but not notify that this might happen to them.
Right. Okay. I'm good. I'm happy with that.
Other things like vehicles we're talking about. I really like to get chemical weapons in. I seen this one thing where it was kind of like if you couldn't open it properly, the smoke grenades and all that fun stuff went off in the room. Nuclear device, of course. I want to get some rooftop snipers up there again, like we had years before.
Nice.
One thing I've been seeing, I've done sort of like MagFed games, but not like a solid MagFed. It's always been sort of like you can come, it's more Milsim. Had to have like sort of like a tactical marker, just gonna use speedball markers. One thing I've noticed was trying to get MagFed guys back out in the field quick to keep playing. The issue was reloading the mags. You guys carry like 20 of them on you, so it's a lot of work to reload them in a short time.
Yeah, some of those guys like this, just like I play MagFed because there's not a lot. It's limited ammo. I'm like, bitch, you got 30 mags on you.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good. And, yeah. I want to come up with an idea of like having some of the referees or like, you ever heard of like a pod bunny at like speedball? I want to do like MagFed bunnies. So like they're there to help you guys reload throughout the day.
Yeah, a pit crew.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's an actual pit crew that will go around and ask you like, hey, are you trying to get back out the field? Can we help you out get reloaded that quick for the next 5 minutes?
Yeah. Pit crews.
2 or 3 people help me load mags, you're back out the field a lot faster.
Pit crews are like essential. That's how the speedball teams do it. So goddamn fast. They wander off, and by the time they're off the field, pods are full. There's new air tanks to be screwed on. Like they're ready to roll. I love that idea. Do you ever think about doing like in chess? They got like the button. Like I don't know. Maybe you can find a way that like you got to hit a timer. I don't know. I'm complicating it in my head. I had an idea. I was like, I have this fleeting thought, and as soon as I started talking, my whole brain was just like, no, it's not working. It's not happening. I don't care what you have to say.
Those.
But yeah, it's the mag bunnies. Like, we should definitely try and find something like that out. That'd be cool. The hardest part though is MagFed guys talk a lot.
That's why I can't make it like cute women. I have to make it like ugly dudes that just they don't want to talk to. Just fill pods or whatever. Fill the magazines and go. Right. Don't fill pods. Fill magazines.
Except then you're also gonna get all of them. They were just like, hold on, man, I got to change the battery of my GoPro, and I got to change the battery of my shot cam.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, Jesus, Brian, get on the field. No.
So like one thing I'm going to make sure we have, because I've noticed a lot of them will run the remote lines and their air tanks are in the back and they have a really hard get to their tank. I want to have an air fill station referee right there so that when they walk up, there's just someone
click and go. I don't know how many times I've stood at the stations and been like, turn around.
Yeah.
All right, go, turn around. Like, it's just like, yeah, that's a hell of an idea. Have somebody there at the air station ready to rock and roll.
So those little kind of things is what we're going to look to do to really try to help out and kind of adapt or change the game sort of thing that you guys are normally used to.
Cool. I like it. It sounds like you got some good ideas. I think it's going to do really, really well.
And that's the thing. I feel it's in capable hands for this year, like to take the time slot. So that's why I have no problems heading down to Ion and letting Kyle run.
Now I got to decide: do I try to go to Ion? Do I try to go to
this time slot? And Ma's just in the house now. Marianne Wombolt from Ma Photography.
Yeah, I saw her. William Gordon finally wandered in.
Yes, from the OPPA.
It's because I tagged him. I was like, "You're gonna want to hear this, fellas." Sorry for the late, Gordon. You're late. It's on. No, you're done. You're done.
you're fired.
So, fellas, we are minutes away from the end of the show. So let's recap two main things. One, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a really cool sidearm that isn't a Tipex, then take a look at tier1armamentstore.com, and you can get the Umarex HDR. I was just looking at it. HDR 50 revolver. This thing is badass. It is $139.99 on Tier 1's website right now. Up for pre-order. You'll get it in like February-ish, like March at the latest kind of thing. But it's badass. Come on now. It's a big, angry-looking revolver. And I want one. I want one so bad.
I want to.
It's just like, man, like that needs a twin. Like you can't you got to get a litter. You need like a litter of Umarexes, right? Because I'm just thinking like MagFed marker on a sling, it goes down, and then you just like you pull out two Umarexes and you wander into one of those buildings, and Oh, it'd be so good. And you just get fucking ruined by some guy sliding on his knees with 2 Tipexes or some nonsense because you're using a goddamn 6-shooter. But you know what? The thing that I'm loving the most, the absolute most, about all of these new sidearms coming out, like the PPQ, the Umarex. I mean, the Tipex has been around. The FSC, not FSC. Yeah, the First Strike Compact. Yeah, all of those we're like 2 years away from me being actually able to do the Boondock Saints thing. What was his name? Oh my god, I forget his name. With like the six pistols. I don't know what it's called. I think El Duce. Was it called? It was Il Duce. Yeah, we're like 2 years away from me being able to just like pull out like one pistol after another, not have to reload, just drop pistols and away I go, and I can't wait. Super excited because I will somehow make that happen. I've missed 10 comments. Holy Christ. So.
Boy, just two.
The Goblin Deuce, that's got to be one too. That I'm gonna need like.
Wim Gordon posted up the Goblin Deuce. I had that Goblin Deuce, and it was like, it was okay. The Deuce was like something that somebody created on a dare. Like they were drunk at one night, and like an engineer was drunk, and he was just like, "Watch, sit down, let me go build something," and he just like went and produced the Deuce.
He was like, "I can beat you with 2 shots while you have 200," and he's like, "Okay, here you go."
Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, folks, we're pretty much done here. Adam, Kyle, thank you for coming on. Thanks for dropping that bombshell that there will be a hiatus for Operation Honey Badger for 2019, but Kyle is taking care of it. Operation Wolverine is happening.
I will step up and do my best.
That's really all we can ask. We'll give you shit if it's not good enough, but that's all we can ask.
I ask for the shit. I will shovel it away.
So July 12th, 12th to 14th at PRZ Paintball. Synergy Paintball is hosting it. Operation Wolverine. It will be the little cousin of Operation Honey Badger. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be the little cousin of Operation Honey Badger.
Well, that's the thing, and you know what, folks? You know what? If you for all the Magford players, try and show some love and help Kyle out, and go to the Magford event if you can. The guy, I know that it's going to be in that time slot is going to be in great hands with Kyle. He's used to running events, and it's a no-brainer. So Honey Badger's on hiatus for this year. We'll be back for 2020. Don't worry. And who knows? Maybe we will collab with Kyle. You never know.
Yeah. So I've just been informed that MIC Gear said if I get the pistols, he'll make me the vest. I'm gonna have to borrow a bunch of pistols now. I'm just gonna call up all of my buddies and be like, "All right, hear me out, but I need to this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. I need to borrow your pistols."
You do a really good trailer kind of thing for your show with that.
Oh my god, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need somebody's got to be. If I'm gonna be El Duce, then somebody's got to be my. What was his name? What was the actor's name? The one that's like drops down to his knees. He's just like, "There was a fire fight." It was in Platoon. I forget his name. We're gonna make that happen. I'm gonna make some phone calls. Anyways, folks, we're out of here. So for those of you stuck around chatting, typing in all the comments and all that jazz, keeping the flow, thank you so much. If you were listening to this on your favorite podcasting app, again, thank you for the stream or the download, however you did it. And if we are not on your favorite podcasting app, let me know. We can be. As well as, what am I doing? There it is. Folks, you may not know this, but we are on Twitch, twitch.com/Maritime Paintball podcast. So if you want to see the show live every Tuesday, but a little bit quicker and a little bit better quality, check it out on Twitch. It's a really clean looking website, as well as on YouTube. Typical Maritime Paintball podcast on YouTube, and you can check us out there. So that's it. We are out of here. Until next week, cheers.